Hi, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube channel of McRae's Window Cleaning. My name is Duncan. We're based right here in Brisbane, Australia. And this is the continuing series, the seven-parter on business building strategies. What do we mean? Well, we have a seven-part series on tips to help us grow personally, but also to how this will help us thrive in our business routine. So what's in today's video? Stay tuned. So here we are, part four of our business building strategies. Very interesting series that we're doing here at McRae's Window Cleaning. And today, this episode is get out of your comfort zone. Now that's a challenge situation to face. Why is it important that we do so? Well, we're going to cover that. We're going to consider this section not only why, but also some tips on how we can do that. A comfort zone has been defined as actually a psychological state in which things feel familiar to a person and they're at ease and they seem to feel like they're in control of their environment. They feel that in the comfort zone, they'll experience lower levels of stress and anxiety. So maybe there is less stress and anxiety, but there's not much room for growth as a person. You know, inspiration, learning, growth doesn't thrive in a comfort zone, doesn't live there. We have to be outside of the comfort zone to be able to achieve that. But what stops us? Why are we afraid of stepping outside the comfort zone? Well, it comes back to that difficulty that we talked about with procrastination, fear. We fear the unknown, we fear loss, we fear failure. Our imagination can run wild. We start to think, I don't know if I can do this. And we start to overthink the situation that we're dealing with. The fear starts to make the situation bigger than it is. Famous German proverb says, fear makes the wolf bigger than he is. So it's very interesting. Oftentimes we think that the comfort zone is a safe, easy place to be. That we're not going to be under pressure in a comfort zone. But the reality is, comfort zones are as dynamic as being outside of the comfort zone. You know, a comfort zone can expand, it can also contract. And I'm going to tell you a story a bit later of someone who was in a comfort zone and how their life expanded because of stepping outside of the comfort zone. Now, what happens if we don't deal with the fear that we face in getting out of the comfort zone? What can happen? Well, when fear acts on us, we actually lose. When we act despite fears, we face the fear and do it anyway, we actually grow. We now have an experience to look back on and to talk about. So, what are some tips we can put into practice that will help us step out of our comfort zone? Now, here we're not talking about massive changes. Remember when we talked about procrastination? We talked about the importance of taking a small step and doing it now. And it's the same with getting out of our comfort zone. We can use our strengths that we've developed to take small steps down a particular path. And then we're able to see and watch the beneficial growth that comes associated with that. So, what are your strengths? Did you do that questionnaire we talked about in the opening video from the University of Pennsylvania, the Aesthetic Happiness part of their website? In there, you can identify some key strengths that will give you areas where you can grow. For example, maybe one of your strengths is that you have an attention to detail. How can you take that strength and use it to grow in what you do with life? Well, attention to detail is very important strength if you're going to be a photographer. Would using that strength enable you to expand into going down the path of a photography hobby where you take pictures of nature, where you take detailed pictures of various events that may be on in the community, maybe the car that you have, or some other circumstance where you can build on that strength and step outside of your comfort zone. Now, remember, small steps, but do it now. That's really important. So, what are your signature strengths? Can you think about them? Can you list them? And can you then analyze those to identify where you could improve your comfort zone? Now, what that means is you then identify areas where you can grow. That then helps you to move outside the comfort zone. Now, once you've accomplished that, this is the fascinating thing about this is assessing your strength, starting down the path of growth, then your comfort zone expands. And then you're able to then identify another strength, see the fear that's associated with that. But because you've had experience of stretching your comfort zone, you now can then go a little further. And it's a continual growth process in various areas. Now, this can be in how in your recreation, maybe your fitness activities. This growth can, you might have initially a fear of meeting new people. So, in your social relationships, this can work with your physical health, this can work with work, education, even spirituality. So, these are things that can enable you to grow because you see what your strength is and you slowly but surely take small steps in that direction. Now, I'd like to tell you a story about that I observed firsthand of how facing the fear, how getting out of the comfort zone step by step leads to a full and rich life. Remember, we talked about procrastination, not being a spectator on the sideline of our lives, not just standing and watching what we could have done. That means you have to get out of your comfort zone. So let me tell you about something that I watched develop that enabled this person to live a richer, fuller life. Back in 2014, my wife and I decided that we were going to sell our window cleaning business that we had in Newcastle, New South Wales, and move to Thailand to live. We were going to do some volunteer activity and live in Thailand. Now, we went for a 10-day holiday to check out how this was going to work. And yes, we saw the poverty, we smelt the exotic smells of Asia, we saw the crazy traffic, and we saw the grime and dirt all over the place, whether in Chiang Mai or Bangkok. We felt we were being abducted by a taxi driver in Bangkok. It was a fearful experience. And at one point, we said, no, we're not going to face that fear. We're not going to step out of our comfort zone. But through that vacation, we saw an opportunity to do so, and we took it. And so in 2015, we finalised the sale. We moved to Thailand and spent 14 months living in a very simple way in that country. My wife hates flying, and you can't get to Thailand from Australia without getting on a plane. And while living in that country, we had to do a number of trips out of the country for visa reasons. During the time we lived in Thailand, there were 27 takeoffs and landings. My wife faced the fear. She didn't enjoy it, but the flying, and it's still not her favourite activity. But by facing the fear, stepping out of the comfort zone, we had rich experiences that will stay with us for the rest of our life. Terry Cole, who wrote the book Boundary Boss, said this: there is something profoundly liberating about surrendering to the ebbs and flows of life's changes. You can learn to embrace the unknown which is where all the infinite possibilities of your life reside. So, learning to face the unknown, stepping outside the comfort zone, this builds resilience. It helps us to handle change. It will help us handle change when business changes, when events take a turn, where we may have to pivot how we operate our business. We can deal with uncertainty with a level of poise that will stand us in good stead for the future. So, what do you think? Is there some area of life where you could step outside the comfort zone, whether in your personal life or in business, where you can do something a little different? Maybe in business, you could go and spend some time doing some cold calling to build up a client base rather than just rely on some advertisement on Facebook or on Google or in the local newspaper. Maybe facing fear of meeting strangers or doing cold calling could be something that will really enhance your business. So it may be something of that nature that will help you progress in dealing with the comfort zone. Remember, the comfort zone will contract or it will expand. The choice is ours. Which discomfort matters most to you? Which discomfort do you want to face? The discomfort of doing nothing and living a small life, or the discomfort of having to stretch, having to face the fears, and being able to do it anyway? It's worth a thought. So, friends, I hope this has really triggered some thought processes and that conversation regarding comfort zones. If you've got some ideas and opinions, don't forget to put them there in the comments box below this video, or you can reach out to us on our social pages at McRae's Window Cleaning. I'd love to hear from you and to hear how it benefits you and how this series of business building strategies is benefiting you in your activity every day. Look forward to the next time we chat. We're going to talk about boundaries, how setting boundaries in our personal life and in business will enhance how we deal with people and how we handle when people demand things of us. So until that next time, look forward to seeing you then. If you want to share this with friends, please do. Subscribe. We look forward to you joining the network. If you want to buy me a coffee, go down to the description of our video and click on the link, and you can contribute to helping us with our video making activity here at McRae's Window Cleaning. Until then, take good care, expand your life, do something exciting to make your life a lot more resilient, a lot more interesting, a lot more fulfilling. We'll see you next time.